always like a pre-dance party. And welcome back to issue number 13 of the SF Company Hour here on
Ooh, lucky 13.
SF Comic Book Company YouTube channel. Welcome back. My name is RayDoomZilla on the internets. Issue number 13. Welcome him back, Bishop, the myth, the legend.
Bishop, the boy said God. Peace, y'all.
Welcome back, Bishop. We had a good time last time he was on, so expect some more.
Damn Skippy.
And over next to Bishop is Laurie, making her long-awaited debut. Now she won't pester me anymore about that. So get that over with. Pull that Band-Aid off. Laurie, you're on. All right, it's over now.
Okay, good. Thank God.
It's a hot ticket, dude.
A hot ticket. So Laurie, welcome to the show. First time on the show.
Thank you.
Like we ask every first-time guest, what's your fandom? What makes you a nerd? What makes you a geek in this space? What have you? So please introduce yourself to the nerds of the world.
Well, I like cheesy films. I also like comic book films, at least when they're well done. I have an affinity for vampire, especially vampire lore and films. And mob movies and good movies.
You didn't steal this from Rick, did you?
No. And I do have an opinion about a lot of stuff, especially when they're badly done or well done. Scorsese's probably my god of all gods.
Just need Scorsese to make that vampire movie in New Set, right?
Yeah, exactly. a gangster vampire movie, mind you. That would be even better.
Stop it. Just stop it.
I want to watch this movie now.
Set in like the 30s.
And I'm wearing my Vincent Price t-shirt, which I got at Comic-Con 2019 last year. So it's to, kind of commemorate the day. So
yeah, Laurie's our inside lady in Comic-Con. She always, got the exclusives. So I always send her with a list, and she brings back some cool shit every once in a while.
Yeah,
the official representative.
Exactly.
Hopefully, if this channel blows up, I can just go on my own now.
That would be great.
Get my own damn exclusives.
Exactly.
Right. Over in our green room, Just Rachel, say hello.
Again, yay!
It's a roller coaster ride.
2020, here we go. Let's do this.
Juiced. And over in the engineer corner, the engineer extraordinaire, Recordo. That's your digital name, Recordo.
Is that like Ricky Recordo?
No, that's like my Transformers name.
Recordo.
Transform!
Somebody call Recordo.
Recordotron? Megatron? Recordotron. Hi, guys. That's all.
El Recordo, ladies and gentlemen.
Would you have like a reel-to-reel, or would you have an 8-track, or what would you have?
Ricky to Ricky.
Is it 8-track just because I'm old? No, it'd probably
Fine,
be
cassette. You feel better?
It'd be a 12-inch long play.
It'd be a
like
mandolin.
Bulbasaur walking around with a fucking record player on his back and shit.
Just a mandolin. That's all I need. All right, folks. Got a few topics to talk about this week. So this week we're going to start off talking about some trailers. We had a couple comic book trailers drop this week. First one is Bloodshot, the Valiant comic from back in the early 90s. It's a kind of a soldier, almost a Universal Soldier kind of thing, starring the great thespian Vin Diesel. This looks super cheese. This looks just like the Valiant comics of old. It looks like it was made in the early 90s. So, Bishop, what did you think about this trailer?
All right. The trailer is it's hot trash. I'm sorry. You ever seen that freaking episode of Saturday Night Live where freaking what was it? The Rock was on there and they were making fun of that live action Bambi movie they were gonna make. I'm watching that whole trailer. The whole thing going through my mind is, call me Thumper. I'm Thumper. My name is Thumper. It's a dope story. I think they could have did it better, but it is what it is. It's going to be part of that whole Fast and Furious type thing, I guess, right?
Yeah, well, it's produced under the Fast and Furious.
Spinning cameras and doves for no fucking reason while he's blasting people, right?
Yeah, outside of, Vin Diesel is not that great, man. He's had a couple, Pitch Black was okay, and
that's,
and Fast and Furious or whatever, that's a thing.
The less he speaks, the better he is.
Yeah, that's
unless he just
that's
says, I am Groot.
Yeah, And you're supposed to play Black Bolt at one point too, so yeah,
Trust.
Black Bolt doesn't talk. So that's him just looking
Could have been perfect.
me bugging. Yeah, he's looking like a bootleg rock. Laurie, what'd you think about this trailer?
It's pretty much the same thing as Bishop. It just kind of looks like, yeah. I mean, you can't get much more descriptive than what it is. I mean, they kind of didn't do much way of drawing anybody into it that at least that understands all of that kind of genre and it kind of I couldn't help but think of Pitch Black, like you said, which I actually enjoyed a lot.
Yeah,
I think it's a great film. That was what 90s in the 90s, wasn't it?
Late
Something
90s,
like that. But
Late 90s.
you know, and of course Vin Diesel being, like you said, the Fast and the Furious. It's oversaturation as far as I'm concerned, but you know, what can you do? That's just the way it is. But he has a twin. I don't know if anybody knows that,
Yeah.
but
I
he
did
has a
not know
twin.
Yeah, he has a twin. It looks like a sci-fi movie from the early '90s with a budget.
Yeah.
Rick, what do you think of this?
So the Valiant comic was pretty cool. I mean, it's just it is cheese.
Yeah,
Super
you
Soldier
can find it in
kinda
your
thing.
local quarter bin at any convention.
Yeah. The one thing that gets me about this, it looks like this is going to get a theatrical release, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this shouldn't get a theatrical release. This is what if it was the '90s, this would have been a direct to video that I would have found, you know, in Blockbuster and my
Trust.
Hollywood Video. They could have did the story a little bit more justice than, like you guys said. It just looks like a cheesy rip of like some kind of action movie, I guess. It's really bad. The effects look kind of cool, but the first thing you should know is anytime you see Toby Kebbell in anything, be aware that and be afraid that this movie's gonna suck. And it's not his fault.
He's a good actor.
He's a great actor. It's not his fault, folks. It's not his fault. He's good.
He's a good actor.
But-
He's good in Kong.
He was great in Kong. But I mean, you look at his list.
Trust.
It's just everything that he's in is pretty much shit. Other than Planet of the Apes as well. You know,
Yeah.
he played Koba.
And he
He's
he
probably
was
on
Doctor Doom in the
contract, though,
new
so-
Fantastic Four movie.
Shit.
We all got house payments to
Yeah,
make.
exactly.
It just sucks when you see this. It's just like, oh, okay, I saw him. Oh, this movie's gonna suck.
So Bloodshot, more like blood shit. All right. So the next one. Oh, that's a bad night right there. Let's see. All right. So the next one.
Blood shit. I just got that.
That was hard.
Just came up with that.
That hurts.
It's supposed to. It's supposed to.
Never swallowed the seed, man. So the next one we're going to talk about is Morbius.
Morpheus, you're a vampire.
Morbius.
That would be kind of
Morpheus.
cool, though, actually.
Morbius, Morbius, the
That would
living
be dope,
vampire.
actually, yeah.
It's a Spider-Man villain. Sorry, this is starring Jared Leto. This is this the same director as Bloodshot? This
No.
is,
It might be.
it's like almost like insane. Like there's some parts of the trailer I kind of like. I dig some of the horror aspects and like kind of the twist on the vampire thing, but. I don't know if Morbius really deserves his own movie. Maybe in a space of another Spider-Man movie, maybe, but as a standalone.
Yeah.
If all the characters you're going to pick is Morbius, I don't maybe if he was crossing over with Blade, I could see that, or something else, but just Morbius on his own, I don't know if it's going to really pull... There was a good little twist at the end of the trailer where it kind of ties in from the first Spider-Man Far From Home, or not, Homecoming, so...
Yeah.
Laurie, what'd you think of this trailer?
Well, as a
As our
vampire,
the
yeah,
vampire
I
expert.
mean,
Sorry, Rick.
Whoa.
you know,
we're gonna have a
I mean,
vampire
it's-
trivia night.
Yeah,
We can do it.
exactly. You know, it's interesting because there are certain criteria that I have when it comes to vampire films, but I know that that's in the comic book genre, so you kind of have to give it a little bit of leeway. But
Sparkles, right? You need sparkles. in
you,
here, right?
God no, please, never, ever, ever.
Those sparkle bitches
No,
allowed.
no, absolutely not. I mean, it looks interesting. The makeup looks interesting. You don't really see him fully. You only see like a side profile, so that I'm kind of curious to see what he looks like, you know, full makeup and everything. And I mean, Jared Leto, I thought his Joker sucked so badly in Suicide Squad. I don't know if he'll do... I mean, he has that kind of very pale, look to him, like the old school Vlad, what Vlad should look like with the hair and that is good. That part's good, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, who knows? I may see it just because of vampires. but it probably doesn't really, not in my view of what vampires should be. So
You're a vampirist. Okay.
Yes.
Vincent, what do you think of this?
You're right. It should have just stopped when they. All right, I saw the whole joint on online where they had the hidden scene from Blade, where at the end when he gets out the temple with the black girl from the first movie, how dude's just sitting there looking at him like, haha. They should have left it at that.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't think this dude deserved his own freaking movie. Number one. Number two, he's a living vampire. The fuck is a living vampire? It was something to get around the comic code. I get that, but still, what the hell's a living vampire? You're a vampire by science. I'm good. I'm good. No. I'm good.
So the big twist at the end, Michael Keaton's character from the first Spider-Man Homecoming, the Vulture comes out. What do you think about this, Rick?
All right.
Tying into the Spider-Verse.
Well, is it?
I guess so.
Is it
now,
Vulture?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing I got. It's just, is it Vulture?
You saw the poster, right?
No.
When he's walking, the poster that says "murderer" on the side.
Yeah, and you see Spider-Man in the back.
Yeah. But that was the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man costume. So
Yeah.
it's very confusing.
Sony doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
Are they trying to put together Sinister Six? What they've been trying to do for a while?
No.
Like Morbius has never been in the Sinister Six. I
think if they're gonna go Midnight Suns, that's a different thing. But it's just like, who else do they have as far as their rights? I don't think they have. They basically don't have Strange. They don't have.
They have all the
Ghost Rider.
Spider-Man characters.
Yeah. Okay. Spider-Man characters are fine. Like you guys said, Morbius, not the one I would have went with.
No.
Dude,
like I would rather see a Dr. Octopus movie.
I would love to see a Norman Osborn movie.
Norman Osborn.
If they're doing Joker like they did Joker, do a Norman Osborn flick.
Yeah.
Craven movie. I think Craven would have justified his own movie more than that, and that was like a big rumor for a long time. They were talking about making a Craven movie, so I think that would justify more. But like I don't know, more. I don't really see it.
Well, they could have also done it to appease Jared Leto because he was so pissed off about the whole Joker thing that he kind of
could have chose a better character than Morbius.
Yeah.
If they're gonna do that, I mean, you could have probably held out.
Right.
And if you really want to stick it to DC, you could have went and did something in the MCU.
True.
He just wanted to get paid to be buff on camera.
Yeah.
He's on with the shirt off.
I've
changed. They're
doing Blade, right? They're gonna do a Blade movie with Mahershala.
Yeah.
What if? And I already heard it's rumored that the villain is gonna be Dracula. I would have been sick. Yeah, because they fucked up Dracula in Blade 3. That was a mail-in movie. Pretty much the Bloodshot of back then.
Yeah.
But if he were to play somebody like Dracula, it probably would be more in his realm. Because he actually, like you said, he looks like Vlad.
Yeah.
He's got that Vlad the Impaler.
Just.
And plus, the Morbius storyline, when I saw it on screen, like in the trailer, it's like, dude, is this like... Am I watching the Lizard's fucking, origin story? Or I'm watching Morbius's... What the fuck are you guys doing? I've seen this origin story so many times. A disabled guy needs to go into animals and figure out what
my favorite was how he cut his hand, walks to the cave for this, and all the bats come out and bite him. I'm like, that's how you turn to a fucking vampire? It's like a deleted. Fuck you, yo.
It's like a deleted scene from Batman Forever.
Yeah.
Trust, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be shit.
Okay. All right, there you go. You disappointed us, comic book movies. So I wanted to quickly just talk about the lame Oscars that got announced this week.
We're not even.
Oscars suck. They don't get it. Like, come on, man. It's more like there was so much good diversity this year, and you just like snubbed everyone. Like Dolomite Is My Name should have got nominated. Eddie Murphy should have got nominated for that movie. He was so good in that. Aquafina for the Farewell. She was amazing in that movie. I saw that movie, didn't know what I was going to expect, and she was amazing. Even the lady that played the grandma in that movie should have gotten some kind of supporting actor. So it's just Oscars the same shit. They're just going to be white and lame and not going to have a host this year again because no one gives a shit. Laurie, you're a big Oscars fan.
Yeah, I used to be. Actually, I used to be. The last time I saw the Oscars was when Catherine Bigelow finally, a woman won after almost 80 years of it being just men. She has and still is the only woman to ever win a Best Director Oscar. I want it to be, but I'll concede to her wholeheartedly because I adore her. But yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, no women were nominated. It's very rare that there's a minority. I think that maybe... Ang Lee, I think, was the only other probably minority that ever won Best Director. I mean, it's insane. I mean, aside from Alessandro Cuarón, etc. But yeah, they have no clue what's going on regarding films. I think the only last year when Guillermo del Toro won, I was very happy about that. They at least were getting to that place again where it's like, oh, thank God, finally quality, etc. But other than that, it's ridiculous.
Now they took a couple steps forward. They actually need to add some more nominees to the
oh yeah, absolutely.
Like if you're gonna do Best Picture 10, they Best Director should have 10. Best Actor should have 10.
Oh yeah.
There's so many films. There's so many more. Like Lupita Nyong'o, she had in Us. She was amazing. Like her acting was amazing in that. And she should have been thrown in the Best Actress thing. I don't know,
or even some of the actors in Parasite too, which was such a great film too. But that's very rare to kind of even do anybody foreign or anybody not in that kind of regular. It's all BS. I like I said, stopped watching it about 10 years ago. Yeah. So.
Bishop, you love the Oscars. What do you can't wait to watch it?
That's all I'm saying about that.
Yeah, Rick, you got any thoughts about the lame Oscars?
Yeah, it's just honestly, it's just a good old boys club. That's all it really is. I mean, are the Oscars awards for film? Because if it was an award for film, it doesn't matter where the film comes from.
True. Or who makes it?
It doesn't matter who makes it. Doesn't matter where it comes from. If you're an actor, it doesn't matter where you were at, or anything like that. It's just, I kind of find it bullshit that they just keep looking at the same guys over and over again. It's like, oh wow, you're an amazing director. Let's just keep putting you up there, even though you made a shit movie.
I mean, even granted, it took however almost 30 years for Scorsese to finally win, and as much as I love The Departed, he should have won for.
There's other.
He should have won for Raging Bull. Hands down.
Goodfellas,
like,
at least.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Definitely Goodfellas.
Yeah.
I think that,
at least
one last.
It
wasn't like Dances with Wolves or something like one that lame. Something lame.
I think it was actually.
Every year gets fucking snubbed because it becomes what it's America's sweetheart movie. Dances with Wolves. Forrest Gump. I love Forrest Gump. It shouldn't have won a fucking Oscar for anything, It's not that
Well,
fun.
they give it to Crash. Hello.
Yeah, it's
no one remembers that fucking movie. No one gives a shit about that movie.
Yeah, but that's the
I
thing.
just remember Ludacris bitching about the bus.
LA
That's
Confidential lost to Titanic. How is that possible?
Are we giving awards to movies that we're going to remember, or are we going to give awards to movies that actually deserve it for the quality and film that they are? I mean, there's a bunch of movies that I've seen over the years that's been quality and they've been awesome. But you know what? The fucking Oscars never fucking like them for that shit. But there are other award shows, people. I mean, definitely, Golden Globes, BAFTAs, they're a little bit better.
The Razzies.
Definitely the Razzies.
I think those are more legitimate at this point.
The Oscars, that's for the fucking nerds.
Oscars so white.
Worst thing about them is they forget to acknowledge certain actors that pass throughout the years, and that's where I started drawing the line. When you're an actor, you should recognize everybody. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, the fact that they left out Godzilla King of the Monsters for Best Picture, that's why. That's bullshit, man. All right, so next we're gonna go talk quickly about this scene. DC crossing over the CW had the big Crisis on Infinite Earths. I still have it recorded. I haven't watched it all, but I did see the clip of Ezra Miller's Flash crossing over with the TV Flash, and everybody blew up the internet.
Yeah.
It's cool to see the movies kind of acknowledge the TV shows, and that's when they started hitting at the Crisis thing. It was like, all right, a lot of people were speculating, is this going to cross over with the movies, or is this going to they're going to go that far? And so they had some deep cuts on the show, so I definitely got to go back and watch them all. And they crossed over with the Burton universe, they crossed over with the '60s Batman, they crossed over with Smallville, Lois and Clark. They pretty much went all over the place. Did you watch this clip, Bishop? What did you think of this? If you did watch it?
I am not a DC person, so when you told me this is what y'all was going to talk about, I had to do my research, right? That's also my dope find too. The DC universe is a motherfucker. Okay? If you're not a DC person, fuck with this show and then do your research. The fact that you have 8 different Supermans in one setting and it all makes sense is fly business. Yeah. You have different teams of motherfuckers that do different shit, but it's all the same person, either 5 years ago, 20 years forward, or 80 years back. it's like the Marvel universe just throwing the fuck at you, and you got to deal with it. That's fly shit to me.
Yeah, DC has they do the multiverse right. They've been dealing with the multiverse for a long time, so this is like the culmination of all that.
And even that Flash thing where they both, at first I'm like, what the fuck? Did somebody mess up? But then when you actually get what's going on, I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, and then when the Smallville shit came in, I was like, y'all really doing it like that? And then when Lucifer came in, I was like, really? I fucks with this, yo.
Yeah, they
Dead
have some
ass,
deep cuts, and it's cool that they're acknowledging everything.
Trust,
and
yeah.
there's a multiverse. That's kind of cool. I haven't been a big fan of these CW shows for a while, but I think it's cool that all this stuff is crossing over.
Trust.
I'm not a big fan of Ezra Miller as a Flash, but it was kind of cool seeing him and Greg Gustin kind of interacting, and kind of filling each other up. Laurie, what'd you think of this?
I'm not honestly a fan of any of that stuff because I don't really watch, like you said, the CW because I think it's kind of a cheesy network. But whatever. But it was cool to see the two of them and to see the kind of interaction between, and Ezra Miller's like, it's okay, calm down. He's kind of trying to placate him and just tell him it's okay, it's good. Ezra Miller is actually quite funny. I think I've seen him in one of the panels at Comic-Con, and he's very funny, very personable, very kind of. He came out in I think one time a fur jacket with biker shorts. It was so funny. He was great. So I'm sure it's going to be fabulous, and it sounds like they're doing a great homage to all the great DC characters and everything in the past, so that's always good.
The fact that they brought Burt Ward out and to play a role for a quick cameo, that was pretty cool. Rick, what'd you think of this?
I still haven't seen it because I actually kind of want to watch it with you.
Yeah.
We got to watch this one together.
Yeah, I'm saving it.
Yeah.
We'll do a marathon.
It's rough because, like I said, Crisis on Infinite Earths is one of my favorite fucking storylines.
Yeah, written originally by Marv Wolfman and
and I heard he made a cameo.
Yeah, he made a cameo.
He made a cameo, which is
the great George Perez. The
awesome.
art, the book. If you want to experience George Perez art, that book is amazing.
Beautiful.
He draws thousands of characters, all on some of them on the same page. It's amazing art. It's like a great achievement. It's the story's insane. The story's crazy.
Yeah, be prepared to try to keep up.
It's very all over the place, but it's a badass story. So if you get a chance, check it out if you get a chance.
Ezra Miller.
Go.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of him as a Flash. I don't like his Phoebe from Friends running down, running in the movie. He irks me. But
he kind of comes off very. What's that guy's name that fucking ruined? I don't even want to remember his name now. I omitted it from memory. Lex Luthor. Eisenberg. He has a lot of Eisenberg in him. He's very twitchy.
I didn't even think about that until you said,
he mentioned that the other day. I can't get it out of my head.
I
cannot get it out of my head. It's like, God damn it, stop twitching so much and being so hyperactive. I understand that you're being hyperactive because that's what you think the character is. It's like, when I read the character, he doesn't talk like fucking the Micro Machines guy. He's not Blur from the fucking Transformers. It's just he views the world differently. I'm still out. I don't want Barry Allen anymore. Barry Allen's been kicked to death. It's time for a new speedster. I'm sorry, Ezra, but if they're gonna do anything, I really want them to stay away from Flashpoint. Do something else.
So you're saying he's better than Ezra?
Huh? No, that's bad. Stay away from Flashpoint. And Muskie Eddie, if you're a smart man, just find yourself.
He's not making that movie. That movie's not happening.
It's not going to be made. I have a feeling, but if anything, if he does decide to do it, please, whatever you do, get away from Ezra Miller. Dude, even I would cast that one cat who played Ben in It, if he wants to go with somebody he recognizes as a Flash. He might do a good job. The older Ben, the guy who fell in love with Bev, I could probably see him as a Wally, So somebody new. I'm just for all new characters. I just want to get away from those originals, man. It's not. All right, that's it.
So this
it's too much, man. It's too much.
So I just want to cause this is a WB heavy episode. So this is the WB episode of the SF Comic Book Company. So WB. WB. Fucking frog. There was an article that came out I think last week that WB is one of the studios are using AI to determine their film slate, kind of doing algorithms and like trying to figure out what's the best project to put out and that will make money and such. I think this has been done a while. They've been doing this for a while. A lot of studios do this, put it through a computer process and all that. So Bishop, what do you think this is like the future of like robots making movies and decisions for studios?
God, I fucking hope not. I'd rather go back to the focus groups of 10 motherfuckers sitting in the fucking room. Did you like that? Yes. Did you not? No. Or even better, you got fucking Twitter, you got Instagram, you have all this online shit that you can just sit there and consult people and ask them, what do you want to see?
Yeah.
You got to put an algorithm in a fucking computer to make the next fucking movie? No, dude, you're doing too much. You're overthinking it. You're not creative. You're just a freaking robot. Fuck that. No.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's laziness. It's, unfortunate because there's so much. The studio system is pretty much gone now. It's like you don't go to an executive and pitch your story anymore. It's just, let's put it in, and it's like the balls with when you're doing the bingo. It's like just kind of rolling, and whatever comes out. Okay, let's do this one next.
Let's put actor B with actor
exactly,
C.
Exactly.
And then director this is going to make this kind of money. So
no, we have
it's not going to have
Morbius.
any horror.
Yeah,
we're going to get more Morbiuses and
It's like the
Bloodshots.
fucking Mad Libs of movies.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like what Bishop said about it's just this kind of go on Twitter to ask the fans, ask what people want. I mean, we have fans sitting right here. Is what do you want to see? What's the best thing to do? It's just
Boobs.
ridiculous.
Yes. Boobs and everything.
I don't know. I like that whole gangster vampire thing that we talked about before.
No,
That'd be some fly
well,
shit.
Scorsese directing.
Scorsese directing that, yes.
Scorsese, if you're watching, get on that shit.
Yeah,
1930s, 40s gangster vampire movie. Yeah, I'm down with that. That's true.
Trust.
Yeah. Like Pacino has an old ass vampire.
Let me tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bite your fucking neck. Ha ha!
Let me see that neck. I gotta suck your blood.
First, I'm gonna suck his blood. Then I'm gonna throw him out. Then I'm gonna fucking go. Fuck you! I'm out.
Sucking blood. It's a game of inches.
Game of it.
Any given Sunday.
Oh my god.
Rick,
Oh,
Mr. Roboto,
All right, so
making movies.
the thing that kills me about the whole AI getting this shit, like you guys said, this is super lazy on their part. The AI doesn't get sometimes what a good writer can do to a movie.
Trust.
There's a bunch of movies that probably wouldn't get made if this were to go down. There's tons of movies that wouldn't get made if this were to go down. A lot of movies that we are privy to. I mean, I like the bad movie. What ends up happening is I think they're trying to get away from the focus groups right now, because right now every focus group feels like there's some kind of art school confidential student, some pretentious fucking prick that is not gonna appreciate what he sees up there. I mean, honestly, if you probably showed like a movie like The Fifth Element to somebody right now, they'd probably like, oh, this movie sucks. There's going to be somebody... No, yeah, that's what we think, because we've seen it. But just imagine, like, showing somebody who's in a focus group. This is people that they picked out specifically for this fucking thing that they don't know what they're going to watch. And then you show them a movie like that, or you show them something like Scream, or you show them something like... there's going to be some people like, oh, that's clever.
Or even go back further and show them anything from Harryhausen, any of the seven,
Dude, you can throw Tango and Cash at these people. You throw Big Trouble in Little China at these motherfuckers,
on both.
And they're gonna. These movies wouldn't get made.
Right.
That's not politically correct.
It's like the whole thing. Yeah, exactly. It's just like when it comes to a focus group, just select random people. Stop fucking selecting people who would fucking vote in the Oscars. Because, I didn't like this movie. I thought Kurt Russell was just unbelievable. Like, fuck you, dude. He's Jack Burton. Jack Burton fucking's a badass. If you don't like that, go suck a dick.
I think they don't need computers to... no, you need good, creative people at the top of these companies. You need a diverse, creative people that know what they're talking about, know what they're doing. You need proper leadership. They bring all these guys from like these Fortune 500 companies to run these and they run into like a business
to make money.
It should be run as a business. It should be ran as of course you want to make money, cool, but you make good art, people are going to come out, and word of mouth is going to build, and people are going to come see your movie. It doesn't. You don't need a focus group. You don't need to put Vin Diesel in with a value comic from the 90s.
Don't stifle creativity.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk some more WB stuff. HBO. WB. Sorry, we're gonna do a little quick Outsider. The Outsider on HBO just started this week. They dropped the first 2 episodes on Sunday, starring the great Ben Mendelsohn and Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman directed the first 2 episodes. I'm not sure how many more he's going to direct, but he's actually a pretty good, decent director. So the story is it's based on a Stephen King book. It's Jason Bateman is a father, a baseball coach, a pillar of the community, and he gets pretty much accused of brutally killing a little boy, one of the kids he knows, and so it's kind of a weird story where he's eyewitnesses place him on the scene. They have him on video by the scene. But the thing is, the twist is, he's on video like a few towns over, like a couple cities over. So it's a crazy, crazy story. It's Ben Mendelsohn plays a detective. He's awesome in anything he's in. But Bishop, you got to watch these 2 episodes?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think?
That was the fly shit, son. Mm-hmm. Number 1, I can't give shit away, but it's brutal as shit. It makes you uneasy.
Yes.
And then when you see that fucking twist, you go, wait, what? Yeah. Like, shit just doesn't make sense. And that motherfucker at the end you keep seeing, I still don't feel right about seeing that nigga, yo. I'm sorry.
It's very, I was very on edge like the whole time and just like, oh, what's happening? When it ended, I was like, I need more of this. Where's the rest of the fucking series? It's, Laurie, what'd you think of this?
I loved it. I actually took some notes. I said, love the opening scene. Music was beautiful.
Yeah, music was good, yeah.
Ben Mendelsohn, like you said, fantastic. And I actually looked him up on IMDb and found out something very interesting, that he apparently memorized every single line from Taxi Driver because he loved that movie so much that he memorized every line.
That's hard.
Jason Bateman,
every line from every character. Wow.
Well, I think it's Travis Bickle mostly, but Jason Bateman is great. Mayor Winningham is great. There's an incredible cast in that.
Yeah, it's a really good cast.
I love how he had a lot of Mozarts too. That was very interesting to me about all of that, and then the muted colors in how it's this, you can definitely tell it's a small town. It doesn't have anything bright and it's not this kind of with other shows that you see. It's not flashy. It's a very, like, you can totally see this.
There's a tone to it.
It's like an episode. Thank you. It's like an episode of Forensic Files. Yeah. Like, you go, oh yeah, I can completely see this happening.
Yeah, it's like a supernatural true
very much so. But yeah, that whole thing about the little girl seeing, sorry, spoiler alert, but the little
non-spoiler alert.
Damn that! Watch it. Just watch it.
It's a great series. But the little girl, one of the little girls, Jessa, keeps seeing something, and her mother doesn't. In the trailer too, so. Her mother doesn't believe her. Whatever she thinks is the trauma, etc. But that puddle at the bottom of the bed was great. Trust. The cinematography is incredibly well done. I love how they keep the perspective almost voyeuristic, like you're watching it from afar instead of being completely in the room with them. It's very, the angles are really well done with the cameras. Yeah. So it's very, and I'm very excited and looking forward to it. And of course, it's Stephen King. I mean,
and Bateman's I'm not sure if he's directing all of them. He directed the first 2.
He directed the first 2.
The first 2.
Got other directors.
Anybody have note on there?
No, they got a guy named Andrew Bernstein, Igor Martinovich, who's also the. I think he's the cinematographer.
Oh, okay.
So he's going to get to direct an episode.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Karen Kusama.
It's
nothing's coming to mind. Anybody's
It's really
done,
good. Ricky, you have not watched this, right?
I have not, man. The fact that when you guys were saying that the first scene was kind of brutal, that definitely piques my interest. So it's something like True Detective.
It's kind of in that vein, almost like it's Mendelsohn trying to solve the case, and like he's watch the trailer if you're not sure about it, but it's so good. It's good.
I saw the trailer.
Is it how many episodes? Is it?
It looks like it's going to be 10 episodes.
Like standard HBO. 10 episodes. Okay, cool.
I want to see this shit.
You'll dig it.
I tried watching it the other day, but it kept on skipping.
Yeah.
So
it's you'll dig it for sure. I guarantee that one. Yeah. So Outsider, I can't wait for more. It's so good. I hope, are they just going to do 1 episode a week, or do the 2 episodes a week? Because I could use 2.
I think it's the first 2, and then after
just
that, it's weekly.
Fuckers, man.
That's all you get, man.
First one's free.
Yeah, I'll give you 2 now. You can come back next week.
How do you guys feel about that, though, when it comes to shows? Would you guys rather have everything at once or
It depends on the
watch
show.
episodic
Yeah,
each week?
I agree. It
I do
depends
like
on
the
show.
binge stuff, like the Netflix way to like. But and then I also like the Mandalorian, where it was like every week you got something to talk about every week. Like, oh, I don't know, it's good.
I would have
every
been watching Mandalorian.
No,
if
I
had
love
the
binging
chance.
personally.
Yeah. I understand like the way they do it, like kind of releasing it one
They
at a
want
time.
the anticipation.
Yeah, they want
Right.
people because usually like everybody watches the first first weekend, and then everybody's over it on to the next week. No, people are going to keep talking about it.
Trying to bring back water cooler talk. And
Yeah,
shit.
exactly, yeah.
I was just going to say the same thing. It kind of piques you, whets your appetite, where you can say, "Oh, have you seen such and such?" And "Oh, well, it's only 2 episodes. Go and watch it." And
Yeah.
it kind of brings almost a new audience or a new, "Oh, well, maybe I will check that out," etc. Whereas if you binge watch all of it, it's kind of
You can tell somebody the end and shit.
well, and no, but it also is kind of a letdown. It's like, well, I'm done. What do I do now? You know, you can go back and watch it again, but then
what did I do
you know.
with my life? Yeah, so I go either way. It's some of them I like watching every week. I like having appointment television too, like having that. Oh, Sunday night,
right,
yeah,
exactly.
This is coming
Like
out.
The
I'm watching a couple
Sopranos.
shows. Yeah,
9 o'clock Sunday
yeah. So
night.
HBO is good for that Sunday night like anticipation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so. Speaking of HBO,
Uh-oh.
HBO Max, another streaming service. Great. Let's spend more damn money.
Thus starts the streaming wars.
Oh man, I hate streaming. There's too many damn. Let's just condense all this shit. So HBO Max is coming soon. I think this year sometime. It's supposed to be launching. They looks like they have a bunch of stuff on the slate. It's kind of like stuff that's standing out. Just kind of let's talk about stuff that stands out. Like Green Lantern. They're gonna have a live action Green Lantern show, which I'm pretty excited about. It's kind of gonna be kind of like I'm sure like a cop periodical in space. So that's gonna be interesting. They're gonna do a Mogwai, the origin of the Mogwai.
That shit
TV
got
show.
me kind of crazy. I want to see that. Yeah.
It's gonna be a cartoon, like I guess kind of how they found the Mogwai and like the origins, how they figure out how the rules and everything too. So that could be interesting. Let's see what else stood out to me. The Boondocks, they're bringing the Boondocks back to HBO Max. I don't know how they're gonna do it without Pops, but they're gonna do it. One more I want to talk about. Jellystone. Jellystone is basically all the Hanna-Barbera characters living in a town. So it's like Jabberjaw and Captain Caveman, and just all the Hanna-Barbera. So it's going to be like the town of all the Hanna-Barbera characters.
That's hilarious.
So it's going to be
Hanna-Barbera
basically
universe?
wacky races all the damn time.
HBE. Oh my god.
So those are a couple of the ones that kind of stood out. I'm pretty excited about that kind of shit. They're going to pull that kind of stuff out. Bishop, did you see the list? Anything that stands out to you? Anything that you're into?
The Boondocks shit.
Boondocks, yep.
And the Mogwai one.
Yeah.
But now that you brought up the Hanna-Barbera
The
thing,
Jellystone, man.
I kind of hope they go dark with that. Just to be funny.
Yeah.
Like you see Huckleberry Hound with like a heroin problem, or freaking Jabberjaw's like doing coke. That'd be wild, yeah.
That's why you
Yeah, sit your ass down. Like that'd be crazy. Yeah. I'm with the shits on that.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
That's interesting.
Yeah, they what else?
Speed buggies DUI.
Exactly.
Always drunk
No,
and shit.
speed buggies are meth, son. That's why he's like that. No, it was just a tire. Don't pull me over. I'm telling you, that's a meth head right there.
No, I love it.
Captain Caveman's losing all his hair and shit. And like,
Yeah,
Let's go through a draw, yeah.
he's like the hair club for men or something like that, or the alopecia or whatever it is.
KV can't score anymore. Please help KV.
Oh my god.
I'll be totally down with that. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
KV needs his medicine.
Laurie, did you see any shows that stick out to you? Anything else?
I mean, just the Hanna-Barbera. I mean, growing up with that, it's fun memories of watching Sunday mornings or Saturday mornings, and Captain Caveman was always one of my favorites because you just Captain Caveman. I mean, that was just so great, and it's just that's what cartoons were, and that's what they always will be to me. Is that and like Bugs Bunny and all of that stuff. It's just it's nostalgia. It's always been well done. You have the
not always.
Well, I mean, back in the day when I remember that.
Yeah. I love when cartoons crossed over back in the day, like with it's like the Looney Tunes and
Right.
It's always fun seeing those characters that interact, like the Wacky Races stuff.
I would love to also see like Land of the Lost or something like that. That come back. That would be kind of cool.
I actually like that Will Ferrell movie. I thought it was actually pretty good for what it was. The Land of the Lost. stuff.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it was bad, but it was bad, but a good kind of bad. Some of the other stuff they got on there. They got a Griswold's show.
Griswolds. I'm looking at the whole list. I'm looking at the list right now.
They got Blue Beetle.
Oh, that's right. You were saying it. I remember that. I remember you were saying that.
I hope it's Jaime and Ted Kord as his mentor. If they do that, that's what they need to do with that. They got an Aquaman prequel series produced by James Wan. What else stands out to you, Rick?
DC Superhero High. This is all like their drama, so I'm assuming they're not animated. They got Dune the Sisterhood. They're going to have Grease, Rydell High, Green Lantern. They're going to have a Last of the Mohicans, kind of a historical drama.
I think
it can't be a sequel, right?
It'd be awesome. It's like Hamlet Part 2.
Yeah, exactly.
We have no more Mohicans left. What the fuck are we going to do, man?
They got the Griswolds.
We found some more. Wait, we found some
the
more.
Lone Rangers.
We're out of Mohicans, sorry.
They're not exactly lone. Yeah, they got tuned out.
The Lone Rangers.
The Lone Rangers. You're not exactly lone. Shout out to Airheads.
That's
awesome.
too funny.
Yeah, dude. Fucking. They're gonna have stand-up comedy specials. Looks like.
Oh wow.
Tracy Morgan's gonna have one.
Oh nice.
Rose Matafeo, Ahir Shear, John Early. I'm looking at a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
They're gonna have like original movies, documentaries.
It looks like they'll add a lot. The thing they need to add to this is the DC Universe stuff. They add all those Titans and all the. I heard the Harley Quinn show is amazing.
Yeah,
they need to add. They need to combine that shit because if they have all that shit plus the DC stuff, I'll be on board with it.
I just want them to have a package. Like this is what I like about Disney Plus is that they offered a package to have multiple people. Because the thing is, these streaming services they are getting out of hand. Everybody has a streaming service, so like. I think it's just, there needs to be a group of friends. If you have like 4 or 5 good friends, you guys just share your services, man.
Yeah.
It's like, why do we all have to pay this shit? They're actually offering like, okay, look, it's $9.99 if you want it just for yourself. But it's $13.99 if you want it for everybody else. That's $1 a person.
Yeah.
That's $1 a person. And then if you share yours and then somebody else offers to share, it's just like, all right, wait a minute. So I'm paying $14.99 for these 5 streaming services? Dope. Done. You know?
What you were saying though, that if there's more streaming services, I'm kind of worried about content because you don't want to stretch it too thin too, and that's the thing is you don't want to get this like ridiculous, like because there's going to be different versions on different, Disney, and so it just kind of
Apple Plus,
you don't
Disney Plus, you have Hulu, you have Netflix, you have HBO, you have all these. It's just it's turning into it's turning into like you just.
It's a Stream Wars.
It's turning into like it's turning into cable. You're just it's just like cable. You're gonna pay the same amount you pay for cable. Like that was the whole point again. Like kind of like streamlining this shit. Now it's just like stepping back, and now you're gonna.
Okay, look. If for Apple TV, is there anything that stands out that you want to see?
That morning show. I heard the morning show is really good.
That show with Jason Momoa where he's blind but his kids can see, that looks kind of fly.
That looks kind of cool too. But it's just like as much as for me, like it doesn't justify me going after those services at that point. Yeah, I'm just like, I want to see these shows, but I can live without them.
Yeah.
I don't think I can live without Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I don't think I can live without The Witcher. I don't think I can live without The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet.
I don't think I can live without What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
Season 2! Did you hear who's on season 2?
Mark Hamill.
Yes!
There's all these shows that I don't think I can live without, and I'm glad that those are the streaming services. Like Cobra Kai. If you guys haven't seen Cobra Kai, if you're nostalgic for 80s and shit like that, go watch that. But it's all these streaming services, they have to have, I think, what their flagship show. HBO Max, I'm sold. I'm 3 or 4 of their
they got a couple there.
I want that. I want that service now.
Yeah. They're speaking to me on like a lot of levels right there. So,
but incorporate the WB.
If they, the DC
universe.
Yeah, they incorporate that shit. I'm totally sold. If they,
But
a good Green Lantern show, I'd be happy with. Just all this
They're
stuff.
They're gonna fuck that up.
I think Jeff Johns is behind it, so I think. I think he's part of it too.
So as Ray loves Dr. Doom and the Flash, everybody, Green Lantern's my shit. I fucking love the Green Lantern. Hal Jordan, I love him at a point. He just got fucking. It's like I don't know why I hate all these older characters. Like I don't like Barry Allen
because they're mirrors of reflections of you.
I don't like cocky ass Hal Jordan. I want to see it. when it comes to that, I want to see Guy Gardner and Kyle Rayner. To me, that seems like it'd be more entertaining than seeing Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart, I hate it, but he's like the most bland Green Lantern of all of them. And I don't want to... It's like he has PTSD, which is, it's interesting, but it doesn't really call to me as far as like a slapsticky Guy Gardner punking on a little, 22-year-old Kyle Rayner. That's a buddy cop movie right there.
Yeah.
Buddy cop in space. You give me 48 hours in space,
oh, that'd be
I'll
great.
fucking take it. That's what I want. Give me 40 hours in space. Not Prison Break in space, because that's what I feel I'm gonna get. It's gonna be a serious tone with Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. I want Gardner, man.
Yeah, I like Gardner a lot, man. Gardner's my favorite Green Lantern.
Yeah,
he's hilarious.
But they're gonna fuck it up.
Yeah, one punch. Any other thoughts on this HBO Max? We getting it? We gonna get it?
Yeah.
You gonna get it? Yeah, get it.
Who's gonna share it? That's what I'm asking. I got some Netflix ready to go, baby.
I got 5 on it.
All right, there we go.
All right, so yeah, cool. Had some good discussions about the HBOs, the WBs. Let's see. We're gonna go down to our pull list. Pull list is pretty much basically what you picked up during the week, good or bad, something you watched, something you listened to, something something that stands out. You purchased recently or picked up or watched. Yeah. So, Bish, let's start with you. What'd you pick up this week?
I picked up the DC Universe. The DC Universe is the shit. I know I talk shit in the past, but I apologize for that shit talking. DC's that fly shit. I'm gonna become a disciple. Big up DC.
A DC disciple?
A DC disciple, exactly. A disciple.
Yeah, there's some good stuff out there.
Big up DC.
Yeah, no, I was mostly a Marvel fan. More lean towards Marvel, but I loved a lot of DC stuff too. There's some good DC stuff out there, man.
DC's awesome.
Yeah, there's a weird
DC's
divide with a
shit.
lot of comic fans. Like, I'm a Marvel, I'm a DC, I'm like all of it. I like it all. So it's you can have it all. It's okay. There's room for all this shit. Anything else?
No, that's it. I'm good.
Yeah. Laurie, what'd you pick up this week?
I actually bought, I didn't bring it with me, but I finally got Pan's Labyrinth on Criterion Blu-ray, which was incredibly well done, and that's actually the first time I've seen it, which is weird, but I didn't see it in the theater. And the supplements I really enjoyed. They showed, Doug Jones getting just all made up, and the cinematography and him talking about Guillermo del Toro, who I absolutely adore, and it's just a beautifully done version, and there's an great interview with Guillermo del Toro in his house. I think you see one room in his house, which is just, it's insane, and he's so intelligent and talks about the fairy tales and talks about his influence with the fairy tales, and it's just a really beautifully done, incredibly the version that they did of the updated version is just really beautifully done on Criterion. So Criterion is always a good choice.
Yeah, Criterion. They have a channel too, though.
They do.
Damn it!
The Streaming Wars.
Yeah, damn. Anything else, Laurie? Anything else you pick up?
That's it for me.
Cool.
Yes.
Rick.
So in anticipation for the big game tomorrow, I've been watching a lot of football films. So I got a chance to rewatch Remember the Titans. Some of the speeches in that movie are fucking great.
Oh yeah.
So hopefully the Niners.
That guy just died too, right? The coach, the real
real
coach.
so, yeah.
Yeah. Any big game, I always watch Any Given Sunday speech.
I just watched.
That's
Any
one of the
Given
greatest
Sunday.
football speeches of all time, man.
It's the greatest football speech probably the greatest sports speech of all time.
It's also the greatest rap
every
video
year.
in a movie done by Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, true.
Willie beaming. I keep the girls creaming.
He's steaming.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I got to watch it, and that movie, and also in that movie, Laurie, Any Given Sunday, cameo by Oliver Stone doing commentary.
Oh.
He's that movie is basically the Niners story.
It's the Niners story.
It's basically when Montana. Yeah,
Montana goes down.
Yeah.
Steve Young comes in.
That's he's Oliver Stone's a big Niner fan.
Oh, I did
he's
not
a big
know
Niner
that.
fan. Yeah. That's why Tony Montana is named Tony Montana because after Joe Montana.
Oh.
If you look, Jamie
Some
Williams,
of the opinions
former
expressed
Niner.
by Ray belong to Ray, and because this is Ray's show.
No, it's true. That's an actual fact.
I'm fucking with you.
That's actual fact, man.
It's a fact.
It's a fact check.
Jamie
Fucking Giant,
Williams,
fucking New York Giants fan, man.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
you got a new
I
offensive
can't
coordinator.
say
You guys are on the
I
upswing.
Stop. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Where's
So
that-
Jason Garrett's one step away from being head coach. One heart attack away.
That's sad.
We'll save that for sports talk.
Yeah. I got to see that one, and that's it.
Awesome.
Definitely.
All right, so I picked up a few things. I just got this in yesterday. It's Doctor Doom.
Nice.
A couple Doctor Doom things this week. It's basically Doctor Doom with the Infinity Gauntlet from Secret Wars. Also,
Oh, wow.
they combined two storylines, but Doctor Doom without his mask and Infinity Gauntlet. Okay, sure, I'm on board.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. Let's see. I picked up this Special Herbs.
Ooh, yes,
Bishop,
I know this.
Bishop turned me on to a lot of this stuff, so I picked up this one this week. It's a bunch of it's two albums in one. It's a bunch of great beats from MF Doom and such. Great album, very cool.
That collection goes all the way up to 10, I believe.
Yeah, it's a very daunting task. I saw 1, 2. I was like, oh, cool. It's 1, 2. And then I saw 3, 4, 5, 6. I was like, God damn it. So I picked up this one. So more shit to buy. Picked up this, really good. I was listening to it earlier. It's really good. Let's see what else. Flash forward, number 5. Another great issue. I was going to do a State of Wally West episode this week, but after this issue, I have to wait for the next issue to see how it ends. Then I can properly have my feelings on it. So look for that when issue number 6 drops. But kind of setting things right for Wally West and the DC universe. Let's see. I'll say that one for next week. This one, another Doom. This is very Doom heavy this week. Doom, written by Chuck Dixon. This is basically like Doom gets sent to a Mad Max type world where he's kind of on his own. He doesn't have his armor, doesn't have anything.
Wow.
He at one point he kills a lion and turns it into his armor.
Jesus.
He skins it and turns it into his armor. It's very like Mad Max meets Doctor Doom. It's very interesting story.
I'm looking a quarter of the back. Doom's will be done.
Yeah, exactly. So I was kind of distracted by the art when I first saw this, but it grew on me going through it. It's some great. It's very metal. It's very metal. This story.
I was gonna say, yeah.
It's a very cool storyline. I'm digging it. I think I'm 1 issue away. And also this week. So this movie came out in '87. It's starring the great Dolph Lundgren and Frank Langella.
No!
These just recently got released from
I
Super
hate
7.
you. Oh my God.
So they released 4 figures from this movie, and it was a tough choice, but I had to make this choice. So
Oh yes,
Skeletor from Masters of the Universe.
Yes.
Langella?
Frank Langella, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
So they had the god Skeletor, which I almost forgot, which was amazing. They have the Dolph Lundgren and Karg, but these figures are amazing. Just picked this up this week, and they just came out. So Daniel at Super 7. We had to make this hard decision, but I picked this one because I love that design of the character, and the movie's it's super cheese. It's super. It's not a great movie, but it's it's just a childhood cheesy favorite. It's so good, it's so bad it's a good kind of thing. And this is, if anything, the design of this character is amazing. And it's funny, a lot of the special effects are not that bad. Because basically, the Cannon Films famously, they got money to make Superman 4, but they went cheap on Superman 4 and took the budget. They got the money they got for Superman 4, they put it into Masters of the Universe because they were trying to back that horse. But the
Step
design
on your product, cut it in half, put the money to something.
Yeah, exactly. Daniel Stout is the one that designed these characters, these costumes and stuff. So it's called the Daniel Stout collection. They range from $35 $35 right now. I think they're going for $60 online. But they have them in store if you want to go pick some of these up. These Masters of the Universe figures are amazing. I kind of want to get the God Skeletor too, but I'm trying to save some money here. That's my pickups for the week. Yeah.
Aren't they remaking? I think they're remaking Masters of the Universe. Aren't they?
I think they have a cast. It's been in flux for a long time. Christian Harloff of formerly of Collider, famously said he was going to do a script for Masters of the Universe, and he basically said it right. It's Star Wars meets Lord of the Rings.
Pretty much.
That's basically what it comes down. It's a fantasy space opera kind of thing. So, with today's technology, you could do it right. Just hopefully don't make it all cheesy and goofy.
Yeah.
Like, take it seriously, and you can do a badass He-Man movie. Those cartoons don't really hold up if you watch them again. They're very awkward and kind of homoerotic, but it's fun childhood stuff. There's some cool shit in there, and you can make a fucking decent fucking He-Man movie.
But I mean, like you said, Frank Langella, that's one of the best Skeletors. I loved that, and the fact that it's him too makes it even better.
Yeah,
Dracula playing Skeletor is just awesome.
Accomplished actor Frank Langella, Skeletor. Okay,
He-Man.
Yeah, so.
I wish he had that voice.
Yeah.
He-Man!
Foiled again. Damn it,
favorite part of that movie,
He's got to do the whole...
that key that lets you go from dimension to dimension.
He comes with it.
How they kind of figured out if Old Boy took his Casio keyboard and played the same things, you could open up the door.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, if that
Like
dude
a
took his...
speak and spell or
Trust,
something.
if that dude went anywhere, he just goes someplace and go beep, 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 and let somebody come through. That's kind of fly.
Gwildor, man. It's all about Gwildor.
You got Commander Card. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, it comes with the cosmic key? Yeah, it comes with it. Yeah, I'm definitely opening this up and fooling around with it. Just a great thing.
Gwildor?
No Gwildor, no. Sorry. The next, this is actually the last set of Masters of the Universe Super 7's doing, so this is like the last of them. So yeah, it's amazing. Can't wait to open it up and pose them and play around and take over the universe. So yeah, that's my pull list for this week. So next up is our hidden gems, our guest show and tell, kind of just something that's personal to you. Just this is like when you were in kindergarten, they told you to bring a toy and show off, and how you spent your summer vacation. So just something that's personal to you, your hidden gem. Bishop, what do you got for your hidden gem this week?
Really don't have a hidden gem. Life's been kind of weird this week. So basically, between the research for everything and just life in general, I do not have a hidden gem. I got to forfeit.
Your life is a hidden gem.
My life's a hidden gem.
I think your hidden gem's right over there.
There it is.
Laurie, what you got?
My T-shirt that I'm wearing, which is a Vincent Price, which I got again at Comic-Con last year, and it's interesting. If you look at it, you can kind of see there's like the creature from the Black Lagoon. There's all different characters on here, and of course, Vincent Price. I mean, you can't go wrong with Vincent Price. It's master of horror and godfather of horror films, etc. So this was definitely a good buy and a good purchase, and I get a lot of compliments on it, so that's my hidden gem.
Yay. Rick, what's your hidden gem for this?
Dude, you just gave it to me. I didn't have one, and it's awesome. now I'm gonna see I'm the sentimental prick in the whole fucking thing. But that one, dude,
can't spell prick dope. Without Rick.
Yeah, pretty much. So I was talking about it the other day when we went to go see the Wolfman Got Snards. So that's Sean from the Monster Squad.
Oh, wow.
So that's the new Monster Squad right there. Me and my buddy, all up into and the fact that you're a vampire fan is fucking awesome. Vampire is my shit. So, yeah. All right, yeah. No, that's my hidden gem. That was a good time out there, man. It was a trip just to see one of the guys that we grew up with. Damn,
childhood hero, yeah.
And I was hanging out with that kid, so.
And it's also when we all learned that Wolfmen do have nards.
Yes.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
The fact that there was a debate, I don't know.
Put like this, I wouldn't take a picture like that with the Goonies or anything like that. I'd be like, I'm like, does fucking Corey Feldman have his hand on my ass or something? What's going on here?
You would be privileged to have Corey Feldman on you.
I would.
Wait, is he just like Michael Jackson or not?
Yeah, exactly.
Give me a kiss.
Look at my penny loafers.
All right. Sorry.
So I was last minute hidden gem. That's usually I wait till the last minute. I just remember we were talking about George Carlin earlier. My buddy Josh picked this up for me. It's a reproduction of a poster.
Oh wow!
George Carlin.
Oh wow!
Peace to the god.
Nice.
One of the greats for sure. Playing at the Cow Palace in 1974.
Jesus.
Back in the day. So this hits a lot of things for me.
That's fantastic.
George Carlin, one of my favorite comedians, next to
Absolutely.
Richard Pryor of all time, playing in San Francisco, playing at the Cow Palace, the legendary Cow Palace. So this is amazing. It's not an original, but it's like a copy
That's
of the.
pretty damn good.
So it's a awesome poster.
Trust.
Now I got to find room for it, but
Nice.
I actually got to see George Carlin live a couple years before he died in Vegas.
He came to the restaurant I work at, actually, I think like a year before he passed away, actually. So, yeah.
No, he's amazing. One of the funniest comedians of all time.
It's too bad he's not around for the new Bill and Ted. That would have been even
Oh,
better,
that
you know?
would have been dope, man.
Yeah, he was great in any movies he showed up in, like
True.
Jane, Silent Bob.
That was the great
Dogma, he was great in.
He played God in
Cardinal
that,
Blick.
didn't he?
That could be my hidden gem.
Please?
Me and Rachel went to go see the freaking the Jane Silent
Oh,
Bob
okay,
reboot.
cool, yeah.
That shit is funny as hell.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, yeah.
It's cheesy, but it's cheesy on purpose, and he picks at it every step he gets. It's so dope. When it comes out, or if you get a chance to see it, see that shit.
I think it comes
Fly
out in
shit.
a couple weeks on Blu-ray.
I saw the first
See
part.
it. It's the fly
I
shit.
just love the Brody Bruce. I based my whole life on Brody Bruce Mallard. So even his daughter was really good in it. Like she hasn't been really great in a lot of movies, but she's actually pretty good in that. That's good. See, there you go. It comes to you. And you guys, it was a Q&A too with Kevin Smith too, right? Yeah. How was that? He's fun seeing live.
We were at the first 20 minutes and we were like, we gotta go eat.
We were starving. We were
hungry.
hungry. We were stoned and starving.
I
My
know we
bad.
paid $50 for the movie. We wanted to have the Q&A and go see it, but no, gotta go.
Yeah.
We
that
ripped
makes
for
sense.
Jersey that day.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I was thinking about going, but I saw it like a couple months ago when it first came out, the little road show thing. So yeah, I think it's coming out in a couple weeks. Yeah, it's I think not his best, but it's fun seeing all those characters come back, and so it's basically cameo the movie. It's fun.
It really was.
It's fun though. Cool. Yeah, that's some great hidden gems. Rich, you got any hidden gems for us? Is Bishop your hidden gem too?
Bishop is my
How sweet. Awesome. I think we had some good discussions this week, man. Good episode. Any final thoughts, Rick? Anything you want to shout out?
Lori brought a whole bunch of shit, and I want to see some of it.
I did.
Yes.
I thought that
I'm
I was
sorry.
able to. That's okay.
I want to see.
Oh,
I want to see what it
whip
is.
them out. Whip them out.
So I brought Waxworks,
Hell yes.
which is one of my favorites.
Yeah, very good.
The
Super
second
good.
one is
Not good.
It's
But
okay.
the first-
It's okay.
No,
yeah.
It's cheese.
The
but
first
it's
one
okay.
though is great. I mean, you have an incredible cast in there. I love the storyline too because it's just all of these. You know, you have the vampire, you have werewolf, you have the Marquis de Sade,
Yeah.
you have
The mummy.
you have everybody, and
Zombies.
it's one of my all time favorites.
Yeah, it's very good.
Great.
Speaking of vampires, Innocent Blood,
That's
which
Joe
is
Dante, right?
I think
No,
John Landis.
John Landis.
John
John Landis
that
did
doesn't
this.
get enough love.
And I love this one too because Anthony LaPaglia is one of my favorite. You got Robert Loggia, you've got
Robert Loggia.
yeah, exactly. So, and of course
Remember that
again,
orange juice commercial, right?
yeah,
Nobody remembers that orange juice commercial. Come on now.
I do.
Thank you.
But it's kind of a different vampire film, but I really love it. Another vampire film, which to me is still one of the greatest ones,
Twilight.
Near Dark.
People don't give that movie enough love. I think we saw that at Terror Tuesday.
Paxton is
We went to go
the
see
man.
that.
Yeah,
Paxton's
and
Paxton's great.
may he rest in peace, Bill Paxton. We love you and miss you. And
Never use the word vampire.
they don't. Yeah, it's never
use the
uttered.
word
It's
vampire
never
that
uttered
flick.
in
No
this.
fangs.
And there's also the I think there's an alternative ending in this one, but they are also interestingly enough is that the movie 28 Days Later, I believe, rips off from this ending about the
Oh.
blood transfusion.
Oh yes,
Nice.
it did.
And I was like, that's
They
from
they
Near
had
Dark,
that
that's
was
from
their
Near Dark.
alternate. That was their alternate ending.
Yeah. That's
28
what
Days
it was.
Later.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Their alternate ending. But the scene for me, I think that I love is the one in
bar?
the bar with the
With
the
the
Spurs.
Spurs.
That's the best
Oh,
one.
man.
That is,
Looking good.
and Dee Snider's in that too, isn't the guy from Twisted Sister? I think he's the bartender. Actually,
Yeah.
I think in that. So this is definitely and Catherine Bigelow.
Catherine Bigelow.
Catherine
using
Bigelow.
A lot
Woohoo!
of Catherine Bigelow and
Aliens.
James Cameron's actors in that movie.
Yep,
You got
Jenny.
Henriksen,
You've got Henriksen. You've got Jenny Wright, I think, or
Jenny Wright. Oh, but who
and
plays
then
the girl?
and Vasquez.
Yeah.
Oh God, what's her name? Jeanette Goldstein. That's it.
Yes.
Jeanette Goldstein.
She's Vasquez.
She's great.
She's yeah, dude.
So that's another one. And then of course Elvira, Mistress of the Dark,
Oh, that's classic.
which we
man.
love.
That's
And
classic
I mean, this
cheese
is
right
this,
there.
That's what I mean. I love these
It's
kind
the
of
best.
cheesy films. Plus, it's Elvira. She's just so great. And this has actually got a great cast.
She's at 60 years old, and she's fucking still
She's
smoking.
still hot.
Yeah.
She's still smoking.
Actually, I saw her again.
She's holding it up in all kinds of
Going
places.
to Comic-Con, I think it was 2017 or 18, where she was...
Cassandra Peterson.
Yeah,
Sandra
where she was
Peterson.
doing an interview, and I got a couple great pictures of her, and she's just still stunning and still, she's actually kind of tiny woman, but she's beautiful. And I actually had the chance to do an interview, but they didn't have time, which was unfortunate. But it's still one of my favorites, and of course she does. She has also a cameo in Pee-wee's Big Adventure as herself as Cassandra Peterson.
in the
because
biker
they've
bar
been
scene.
because they've been friends forever because they were in Second City's TV and Groundlings and all of that
Yeah, they
stuff
kinda
together.
came up at the
So,
same time, yeah.
but this is one of my favorites. I do love this. And then my last one is one of my favorite TV shows, Fringe.
Yeah, that was good.
This is a
Shows.
great TV show. Unfortunately, it ended in 2013, but it's 5 seasons. It's so good. It's J.J. Abrams, woo, and he
He directed
wrote
the pilot, right?
he also created it, wrote it, produced it, etc. It's 2 Australian actors and a Canadian, Joshua Jackson, for all the Dawson Creek fans. Woo. Pacey,
Pacey.
exactly.
It's all about Pacey, man.
But it's incredibly well done. You've also had great guest stars. Christopher Lloyd was in this. Teresa Russell was in this. Jared Harris. Leonard Nimoy actually plays, I think, the last 2 seasons as Dr. William Bell. And it's one of my all-time favorite. It's, again, 5 seasons and one of the best. It's sci-fi, so if you love sci-fi.
I've always wanted to go back and revisit that. I think
Yeah.
I watched the first couple episodes, and then I got kind of distracted.
It's-
I hear good things. Yeah,
I've got all 5 seasons, so if you want to borrow, you can.
Streaming anywhere? Yeah,
It was on Netflix. I'm not sure if it's still, or it might be on Hulu. But yeah,
okay, so
definitely.
it's gotta be
But
on one of those.
So it's on
again,
that's a Fox show, right?
it was a Fox.
It was on
It's a
Fox.
Fox. So
yeah, it might go to Hulu.
And then I've
but
got
produced
one
by
more, 2 more
produced by Warner
things.
Brothers, so it might show up on the stream.
Being the mob person that I am, I've got a great Henry Hill who
Nice.
Goodfellas
that's
was
dope.
written. It's called Gangsters
Nice.
and Goodfellas.
Yeah.
I got this for Christmas. Again, being the vampire and
The best,
and mob one that I am.
The best was when Henry Hill used to show up on Howard Stern.
Yeah.
He used to call in
was
the Howard
great.
Stern all that. It was hilarious.
I remember
And
that.
then one more final, the biography about Prince that came out. I got actually 2 copies for Christmas because people know me way too well.
The Rock, when to stop.
Yeah, so I haven't opened it yet because I'm kind of waiting at a special time. But yeah, anyway, may he rest in peace. We miss him too. So,
Aw,
all right,
Nice.
those are all my.
that's good. Good list. Cool. That was Laurie's final say.
Those were my
Mic drop. So any shout outs, Laurie, you want to give? Any
Just thank you for having me on.
Right
Thank
on.
you for this pretty insane room.
This is the dope room.
the raising,
yeah,
the
and,
Momar, the museum
I'll
of
probably be sending some stuff from Comic-Con of this year when I go down. So
Yeah,
July.
yeah.
So
I'll have
we'll
a
see.
list.
Hidden gems. Hidden gems.
Exactly, more hidden gems.
We'll have a live,
Maybe
live
interviews,
correspondent.
etc. Exactly.
There you go.
We'll
Laurie's
see.
gonna be our inside lady.
Woohoo.
Hopefully we can join her. We'll see.
One of these days.
Yeah.
Cross fingers.
Yeah, once we get a certain amount of subscribers.
Exactly. Subscribe. Okay.
Bish, what do you got for us?
Just thank you for having me. Come peep my site. What is it? fevergangsf.bigcartel.com. Little t-shirt company action, you know what I'm saying? Peep me out. Check the fly shit. Yeah, anytime you want me to come back, I'm always down for the shits.
Man,
I
we
love this
having
shit,
you, man.
yo.
Yeah,
Trust.
it's fun, man. It's good times. So shout out to everyone that supports the show. Oh, shout out to Bob's Donuts. Thanks, Laurie. For your Bob's Donuts. We're all hypered up. I'm coming down from my sugar high now. Fiending. I need to mainline some sugar now. Shout out to everyone. Daniel at Super 7, man. Great dude. Always a pleasure to go in there, and I hope he's feeling a little better. Shout out to, Daryl at Cards and Comics. Frank at Amazing Fantasy, where my weekly pull list is from. Leaf at Mission Comics, the guys at Fantastic Comics, Graham for making the theme, a great theme.
Graham.
Check out his band Saliva Tribe. I saw some clips of them playing last week. Graham is just fucking, he's
a beast
possessed.
on it.
He's fucking possessed.
Clausen
man.
Records, y'all. Clausen Records.
Yep.
Salivatribe.bandcamp.com, I believe it is. Peep the fly shit.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. Finally got our logo finalized. We have our logo ready to go, so we're just working on some some other aspects right now, but we got our logo, so hopefully soon we'll have some shirts to sell and some stickers
Yay.
to sell, and start trying to make some moves. So yeah, just shout out. Thanks for everybody for watching.
Go Niners.
Like and subscribe. Yeah,
Go Niners!
Ah!
Bang bang!
The pack is whack. Pissing off a lot of people this week. So yeah, go Niners for sure. Just like and subscribe to the channel, share it. Let people know about it, and if you like it, let people know. We're trying to educate the world about the nerds. So
Educate.
yeah,
Educate. Yeah.
So shout out. Thanks everyone for watching. Like and subscribe, like I said.